Boom, we live. Thanks, guys. Listen, mad show. We weren't even planning to do one this evening, but hey, when it's Arsenal involved, you never know. You never know. So, got my guys here with me. I got Jalil in the top right wearing the kit proudly. How you doing, Jalil?
Always good, bro. Always good.
Hey, Jalil's a happy man. Jalil's a happy man. Rash, how you doing, my bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Good health, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Hey, good health, as you said, man. Hey, hope you both enjoyed Christmas yesterday. Obviously, I know Rash, you're Muslim, but still hope we enjoyed the celebrations. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Boy, it's quiet in my house in Christmas. We don't do that, but yeah, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying. I enjoyed the lay-in. I enjoyed the lay-in.
Hey, go take what you can get, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Listen, we got it up there. Arsenal 3-1 Chelsea. I think it's a weird one where I think most people definitely weren't expecting it, but some of us, I think Rash, you called it. He called it very proudly a couple of weeks ago. You said he could see us winning this game, and we did 3-1. Saka, Laca, and Xhaka. This happens to rhyme as well, but hey, man, got the job done. We made it a bit nervy at the end. I don't know how they almost made it 3-2. That would have been a crazy last 5 minutes because I don't know where 5 minutes at a time came in from as well. I think the fourth official was like, hey, let's make this interesting. But Leno pulled out the save. And we managed to pull it through. So, hey, let me come to you first, Rash, man, since as you were the one that forecasted this, bro. What did you make of the game?
Do you know what? I thought it was a good game. I thought they played to a standard which I believe they should play. You understand? Like, I can't even say like they played fantastic. Really, this is just levels. That's what they should. This is how they should be. Like they got the players in the team to play like this week in, week out. It's a mentality thing, and it's whether they can bring it and bring this type of game every week, and that's the most important thing. I called it because I know that when Arteta plays the big clubs, except for City for some reason, he kind of sets up so that we can do a good job, you know, sit back and do the counter-attack thing. So I always thought that he was always going to set up nice for this game. And I knew that I just thought that we'd pull it out of the bag, and we did. I think that Xhaka did exactly what I said he can only do as well. Do you remember I said, them men there can't do nothing? I said, them men there can't do nothing except shoot, but he doesn't shoot, so we ain't got no use for him. Then he bangs off the shot and he scores goals. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I think it was good. They kept their heads. Leno, big save at the end. Happy about that because I've been cussing Runnison all week. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's just nice to know that Leno's there. You can like give me a little bit of faith to know that someone's behind the sticks that's gonna be able to do the job. Like it just reminded me, oh yeah, we do have a good keeper as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, overall good performance, good control in the midfield. I thought they defended well. Martinelli back in the squad, doing his thing. It's like they've got a new revamp and relife of energy, and you could see it every time he touched the ball going forward. Lacazette as well, great in the build-up play today. Saka on fire again, like that kid. Like I think we are lucky and fortunate that we got him to sign a contract when we did, because I think he'll be gone this January if that wasn't the case. But yeah, overall, good performance. Good performance.
No. I hear that, man. That was a good breakdown. I think the Martinelli thing, man, I think he's made a huge difference. That kid, he's just got a different type of mentality. He's got the mentality that we need so many other players to have. And it's an infectious one. Sanchez used to be like that when he first came. He had that spirit, never died. So yeah,
and that's all it is. You know, when you see someone trying, you can't help but try as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it lifts the team.
Yeah.
I thought Bellerin had a poor performance, though.
You know what? Actually, you know what? Yeah, because we're going to do player ratings. But you know what? I get on to Bellerin as well all the time. Like, I want him gone. But I don't think he was poor today, Rash.
I don't think I think there was a couple times where he done a couple things that just made me think, oh, typical Bellerin shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he just needs to sort it out. Like, he needs to sort it. He done some good things. You know what I mean? A little bit more solid, but yeah, he got clapped a couple times.
Yeah, he did. He did die a standard, to be fair. But yeah, man, Jalil, let me come to you, bro. Mr. Positivity, Mr. Arteta in 3 to 5 years. Bro, this was like your redemption day, bro. I'm happy for you. Bro, rest of the week, you even thought earlier today, you thought the game was tomorrow. So, bro, like, it's been a yo, like, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah, man, feeling good. You know, had them Christmas celebrations and that. You know, I thought the game was tomorrow. So, boy, was I? Do you know what I mean? Was I still drinking and that? But yeah, no, boys, thanks for letting me know, man. I was all over the gaff. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, having said that, I mean, there's with the team today, I was actually quite impressed. I couldn't see us winning. And when Rash was saying it, I think Rash said it about 2 weeks ago, we're definitely going to beat them. You know, I was thinking, what are you seeing? I was hoping for a draw today, but Rash saw it, man. So I got to give credit to him, man. I got to give credit to him from early. Having said that, you know, I'm just looking at a few of the players, and you know, I remember a lot of people saying, you know, a lot of people not playing for the manager, this and that. But if you look at the players Arteta put out today, everyone looked like they showed a bit of fight. Even holding all those blocks, won every duel against Tammy Abraham. What's his name? Murray, he's all right, to be fair. I wasn't really happy when we signed him because he was on a lot of loan deals and no one wanted to keep him or sign him permanently. But we signed him. Obviously, had to be Arsenal. But he did all right today. He was a bit shaky at the beginning, got a yellow quite early, and I thought, I could see this guy us going down to 10 men and then obviously losing 2-0, 3-0 or something. But yeah, I was gassed. I was really nervous. At halftime, I said I want Martinelli to come off a defender. You know, I wanted to be boring and basic as it gets because I really wanted these 3 points, and it meant a lot. It meant a lot to see the team play well. The young boys coming in, Smith Rowe, Xhaka, and Martinelli. They look the bollocks, man. And Lacazette didn't have a good game today. We have to sit here and be real. It was them 3 boys. Laca was just there doing his thing. To me, Laca didn't really do anything. I'll be honest. Laca didn't really do much. He was just an extra man there. And if Abandonon was on the pitch today, he would have done any better than Laca because he would have been marked at the game, and that's what they were there for. And you had those 3 boys running around and doing their thing. They scored. Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite happy with the game. El Nene, I normally get onto El Nene. He did what he had to do today. You know, the basics, the basics. But Xhaka again, I didn't think I'll see him play again. If I'm honest, I don't really think I'll see him play. But he got a game today. He scored a goal. I mean, he can still go. I mean, like he's not really going to bring anything to the team. He can still go. I didn't really expect to see him. But all in all, I was quite impressed with the team. Everyone showed fight. Everyone was a bit iffy at the beginning, but we got off 3 goals and off 3 points. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
No, nice one, man. Let me just quickly show this comment. We got Mus in the building. We all know our brother Mus. Love the support, my bro Mus. We'll definitely have you on tomorrow, bro, where we talk about Liverpool and some of the other results. But appreciate you tuning in, my bro. Love that. Cheers. We also got Mo in the building. Big up, Mo. Hey, don't worry. Hey, we'll talk about United tomorrow, Mo. But I appreciate you tuning in. We're not going to slander United today, bro. Classic Mo saying, don't get carried away like the Arsenal fan base. Hey, listen, don't worry, man. We're all rational here. Maybe Jalil sometimes gets a bit carried away. But me and Rash will keep him cool. Don't worry. So don't worry. Yeah, man. Listen, let's go into this into a bit more detail now. Arteta, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I saw the team before the game, I was like, "This team is mad." Because I saw Xhaka in the team, I couldn't believe it. I saw Bellerin back in, I couldn't believe it. just thought, especially there's no way he's walking straight back into the game. But he did. I was happy to see Smith throw in, just because I feel like I like how he moves and stuff. So I thought, let's see how a proper number 10 plays. And I like also the combination of Saka and Martinelli on the wings cutting in. And Lacazette was up there for the hold-up play. I also have my reservations on Pablo Mari because I do know he's a slow defender. But you know, the team worked. I have to say, it was impressive. I have to give a shout out to some guys. I thought Tierney again was brilliant. He's a beast, up and down, non-stop energy. Martinelli as well, absolute beast. Saka was great today. Smith Rowe just did. It's not that Smith Rowe was amazing for me, but you saw the difference having a guy who knows where to stand in the right pockets makes. With the quick little passes that he was doing to the sides, keeping the attack flowing. So I was just there thinking, like, he had a great game, but just imagine what a top player like an Aouar will do in that type of role. Then that one will see a growth. But, you know, there's been a lot against Arteta. So, Jalil, I know you've been one of his strongest supporters. So what do you feel like this game has done for him? If we were to win our next game against Brighton away and then West Brom away, are you now saying, boom, let's chart him for January and
yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, with Arteta, I think my main thing was for Arteta, I wanted to keep him because I wanted him to get this window. He's had 2 windows. I feel like as a manager, you need at least 4. But I just wanted him to get this window, which is going to be his 3rd window, and see where he goes from there. So I was gassed. That's one of the main reasons why I was actually also happy that we won and got these 3 points, because it kept him in a job for a bit longer, which was needed at this time. I just want him to get a window. I needed him to get a window. You know.
Why do you like him so much? What do I?
I knew I was going to get on to.
Yeah.
No, I just want to know, because it's like you're really happy like that this happened for him.
Do you know what it is? I'll tell you. That's a. Do you know what it is? That's a great question as well. It's not. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% honest, because Rash has been getting on to me. John, you've been getting on to me. I've had people from other groups, other Arsenal fans, and I feel like everyone's trying to get me. Like, why'd you hate him? But I'll be honest. I'll tell you why I love Arteta, and it's not even that I love Arteta. It's that I love that we've got a manager in a job who knows what they're doing. I know he hasn't got that pass. He hasn't got anything that he's potentially won. So I understand where you got to come from. I'm never going to say, oh, you are so wrong for saying Mikel out. Why do you guys keep saying it? I understand where you got coming from. We're 15th. We're 14th now, thank God. But we're 15th, about a week ago. So I understand why the hate came in. The reason why I want Arteta to do well is because I always believe a manager should be in a job for longer than 3 to 4 windows, as I keep saying. Getting rid of a manager, I think getting rid of Mikel, say we lost this game, would mean we have to start again from scratch and change the tactics from scratch again, because they're in training, they're working on specific things, and that's what they're bringing into the game. With a new manager, you have to change the whole diameter of everything. It's gonna have to start again. So the only reason why I was backing Mikel for this long, and I was backing Emery as well, just to stay. Just give him another window, because you never know. He brought on some decent players, but we had to just give them the window so they could bring in their own team. This is still.
So is your thing more like stability? Is that why, like, for stability's sake, that's why you want him to kind of be there? You don't want anything interrupted right now.
100%. 100%. And the reason why I say that, because it's just going to start again. I don't want to be like Liverpool sacking, how they were going for a bad time, just sacking managers after game. Chelsea as well. Chelsea's done it. There was a time when United started doing it after Fergie left. They got a few guys in and they got rid of them. So I just don't want to be like that. Let's stick to a plan. Mikel and the board have worked on a 3 to 5 year plan. That's why I said give him 3 years. It sounds silly now, but I'm going to change that into windows. Give him 3 to 5 windows, but I'm happy he's getting this 3rd window, because I'm happy that he potentially could show progress. He hasn't really shown progress. Just the players look good. The players are saving them at the moment. I'll be honest with you. The kids came in today and saved his ass, mate. They saved him. So say we lost today, you know, anybody could be shouting Arteta, and I wouldn't even argue with you if that makes sense.
It makes sense. You're making sense.
Yeah. So that was the only thing, bro.
Now you broke that down well, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, hey, listen, me and Rash, we have been getting on to you, but you've been standing your ground. You know, you ain't been backing down. You've been solid in your position, and yeah, man, I think you broke that down well. But I gotta bring it back to Rash, man. What does this all mean for you in terms of Arteta? Like, how much time, especially now, considering, not to interrupt you, that Pochettino is going to PSG, so that's one less manager we can get. So, yeah, man, talk to me.
So, I always knew that this game was going to make me have mixed feelings in regards to what Arsenal should do with Arteta, because I always thought we were going to win this game. And I always thought, okay, from this game, that means he's going to get an extension onto the January window. I knew that was going to happen always. But I like what he did in this game, yeah, because if you look through the midfield, yeah, and the forwards, you had Martinelli, you had Saka, you had Smith Rowe, yeah, and you even had Willock, yeah, at one point. And when you kind of look at it, it was like the under-23 squad. They already know how to work together. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And they kind of bring their attacking force that they have over there and what they bring into Europe in our midfield. And that's what we've kind of been lacking, that midfield that pushes forward so that the attackers can go on to the last man rather than coming back to grab the ball and try to build up. So I like the fact that he kind of identified that. May have been fluke, but to me, he identified that, and I think that was a good move, and it's something that was needed, that new energy, that new life. Smith Rowe was a breath of fresh air, I believe. He was doing everything that a player in that position, a number 10 role, has to do. Picking up the ball from the side man to the middle man, from the back man to the front man, setting things up and just keeping the play moving along. Saka, he plays like he's been doing this thing for like 10 years. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I've always admired his intelligence in a game for such a young player. Do you know what I mean? And I think Arteta got it right today. I was looking at the squad. I looked at a fake squad first of all, and I think Jalil, you sent it to me, innit? Possible squad, and I was there, and I was like, dead. I wouldn't have this man in there. I wouldn't have that man in there. But it's funny. I don't think Xhaka done a good job, but he done a job. If you know what I mean. Yes. He done a job, and I think I think he got it right. So I would personally, I think they have to give him till January now, and if they give him till January, they have to give him what he wants. Otherwise, what's the point? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think it's going to be a thing where they're going to say, all right, this is your last chance. You know what I mean? What do you want? And he's going to say, okay, give me this and this. And if you give him that, hopefully it will kick on. But it's weird because I had a little conspiracy about what was going on at Arsenal. Yeah. So I thought behind the scenes, no one don't know what's going on, but I think that they're boycotting the team. They're doing this on purpose. I think they're trying to protest against the treatment of some of the players. And I think either Arteta's with it, but has to show that he's not with it, or he's not with it, but he's not against it because he agrees. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But then seeing a performance like this makes you think, okay, then why are you trying? But then again, are you trying because you don't want the manager to leave? Because you are just doing a protest, and you don't want it to go as far as the manager loses his job. So whenever you want to switch on the game, you can. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of gave me a bit of mixed feelings about what's going on behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, good job today. Good job
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. No, I think you made a lot of great points there. I think the last one especially is interesting. I feel like there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. Something is not right. Obviously, they've said that Willian and David Luiz were both ill. Again, then maybe they just hang out, but just little things like that from the players that you know are supposed to be leading this supposed revolt against Arteta. It just seems like too much of a coincidence. But I guess let's not try and speculate too much. You know, we have won the game, so maybe on the negatives today isn't fair. I guess something else that's maybe a couple of things that came up in my mind while you were talking there, Rash, is a couple of interesting questions. And that is the first one is, and this is a free fall for you, man, to just jump in, is who do you guys think is the bigger talent, Saka or Martinelli?
Go on, Jalo, you can go first.
Saka or Martinelli?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real, yeah. I'm going to say, you know, with Xhaka, he's been amazing in anything, yeah. And I'm going to back him because obviously he's Nigerian as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm a Nigerian boy myself, so I just love them. Even when we had Iwobi, I was still backing him, even though he was going down drain. Do you know what I mean? But Martinelli's the bigger talent, bro. Honestly, I've not seen a talent like that since Ronaldo, CR7, Ronaldo, United. I will say it right here. Put this in.
Yo, Rash, done it again, bro.
Don't leave none of this out.
Done it again.
Don't cut none of this out. I don't want to see this cut out, bro. We're not like that since Ronaldo touched the ball, bro. The way he moves, his gravity on the ball, the way he takes turns, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. Martinelli is a big boy talent, and you will hear his name in 5 years, 10 years. Don't, hey, John,
hey, what are you saying, Rash? You agree with Jalil?
Listen, I've been speaking to my man them like in all my other groups and everything like that, and I've said our football ain't gonna change until Martinelli comes back. Everything's gonna change. I think Martinelli might be the one we have to wait for. I've been saying it because in reality, he's the bright spot that's been missing. And to be honest, when Saka and him are on the pitch together, that's when you see them both play amazing football. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's when you see Saka play his best football as well. It's funny enough, and that was from before when they both come through previously. They came through together, and it was kind of like, who's the best one? Which one's better? And remember, Emre was playing Saka in the defence at that period of time as well. So it was like, we know he can do the biz, but he's doing such a good job here as well. What a great player here. And Martinelli was taking all the shine going forward. But now we've seen what Saka can offer going forward. Do you know what I mean? As well. I think they're both brilliant players in their own ways. And I don't think it's one of the thing of who's the better talent or who's better than each other. They're both brilliant, bro. Like, they're both brilliant players. And I think together, them two working together on the same pitch, anything can happen when on the pitch together. It's about keeping them both fit.
No, I agree. I think it's vital that they both stay fit. For me now, Pepe doesn't get back in. He's got to work damn hard. Like, but even then, I just like the balance of the side with them two, because Saka is not careless on the ball. He looks after it very, very well. And then on the other side, Martinelli just brings that aggressiveness, that intensity you have to have. And Pepe doesn't really have either of those elements. He doesn't look after the ball well. He's not intensive without the ball. So I think it's going to be a hard one for Pepe. For me, it's a struggle for him to get back in, man. I think Saka and Martinelli have almost sewed up those wing spots, for me. I guess it's just a thing of, what do we think about? Because I disagree with you slightly, I thought Laca did his job well today. I thought he kept it simple, held it up well. So my question is, does Alba get back in up top? Do we need to give it a game or two before he comes back in?
Yeah, so I'll tell you why I said Laca didn't really. Thinking back on it, I kind of take it back compared to where Alba was. The reason why I was saying that is because I wanted to see a bit more, but I only saw fight from the young boys, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying about Alba is, if Alba was to play today instead of Laca, I don't think you would have seen that many runs going on or that much freedom for the youngsters. I'll tell you why, because Alba would have been marked out the game by everybody. So that's one less striker or one less attacker we would have had on the pitch, and that's the main reason why I said, I mean, with Laca as well. Laca, I want to see a bit more. Maybe I'm just being a bit too selfish, or just a bit too. You know what I mean? I just want to see a bit more from the guy, because he's good. Don't get me wrong. I want to see more. I want to see more shots. I want to see more take-ons. I want to see beat a man. And I just realized I'm realizing we haven't really got that faster strikers. He's not fast, and Laca's not that quick as well. But it's not their fault. They've got abilities elsewhere in terms of shooting and hold up play and everything. But yes, I wanted to see a bit more, and that's just me.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. I think it's good to still be able to demand the best. But I guess let me just ask you, man. Would you start Laca next game? Then would you change? What would you guys change for the next game? Where we play in 48 hours, I believe, against Brighton away, or correct me if I'm wrong, if it's in 3 days. But would you guys make any changes to the lineup?
To me, if Oba don't score goals, he doesn't bring anything else to a game.
I totally agree with that.
And that's the truth. Yeah, if he doesn't score goals, and it only seems like, okay, he only seems to want to play when it looks like the team's playing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like today, it looked like he was anxious to get on the pitch today. Like you can see him in it. You can see it in his face warming up, like he was wanting to get back on. And I don't like that. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't like you having to be like, have a catalyst in order for you to have something, bring something to the game. You should have that in you anyway. And you got that captain's armband, you should be leading. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Don't have your head down. As Jalil always complains about Aubameyang. Every time my man's got his head down. Whenever something don't go right, his head's going down. He never says, come on, come. I've never seen him go, come on, everyone, come. I've never seen him do that. Never seen him do that. So I would keep Lacazette in the squad over Aubameyang because of what Lacazette does. I don't expect to get goals from him. So when he does score, I'm happy for him. Yeah. But I expect him to grab the ball, hold it up, come deep, grab the ball, be part of this the build-up play, even have the knock-on the end that will make the next man score a goal. I expect that from him. If Abba gets marked out the game, he ain't got fight in him to be. He ain't got that in him. And man, I think he done us dirty in a way still since he signed that contract.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. I've been saying that about Aubameyang for years. I've always said if he doesn't score, he doesn't contribute anything to the game. And we live in a stat-driven era nowadays, where stats matter, and of course, stats have always mattered. But I think it's always a fine balance between looking at stats and looking at the eye test. The eye test for me doesn't lie. We've been seeing it this season. He doesn't score. He doesn't contribute. He doesn't look like he wants to get involved. His head is always down. So I just don't think he's shown any type of leadership. But again, maybe he's just not that type of player, and he should never have been given the captaincy in the first place. So that's not his fault. He can't change that. But still, once assigned, you would expect more, and he hasn't done it. So for me, he doesn't get back in the team for the next game. For me, I would go with the same team. Maybe only you could say maybe Xhaka for Ceballos, but again, maybe keep Xhaka only based off the fact he scored a free kick.
John, can I ask a question? Just quickly on that. Because you remember before we got Partey, yeah? Xhaka and Elneny were doing a good job in the centre. Do you remember? Elneny was doing a good job at what he was doing, and that was allowing Xhaka just to do what he can do, which is probably ping the ball across. He wasn't shooting, but it was good, and it was a good midfield. It was kind of solid. We won the first. We won 3 games, I think we did. And drew one. We were doing all right. So I think in the midfield, them two, if they can't play on their own with Ceballos, that's the problem. So them two can only play together. So I think it's kind of pivotal that if any of them play, that they play together. They make like one man. the two of them together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually a good analogy because I mean I feel like Ceballos has been very poor. I mean I feel like he's been overrated since day one. I think Arsenal fans are just so desperate to have players to clamor to that when we saw his fight against Burnley, everyone was just like, "Oh my days, he's the replacement for Santi Cazorla," and he just doesn't come close. It's just Cazorla to even have them in the same sentence. And I would, you know what? I wouldn't bring Ceballos back in. I'd probably go with the same lineup. Maybe bring in Maitland-Niles for Bellerin, and then I'll probably go with the same thing. Keep the confidence high. So yeah, man. But you know what? Let's get into Arsenal player ratings, man. This is the first one we've done, so it'll be interesting to see just how our standards compare. Obviously, it's from 1 to 10. Oh, sorry, 0 to 10. I don't think we'll need any zeros today, but with Arsenal, they're lucky. If we did this a couple of weeks ago, there would have been a few zeros. But anyway, we'll start with Leno in goal. Jalil, what we saying? What are you giving Leno?
He made a good save. Unfortunately, he couldn't stop that Tammy Abraham goal. His distribution has gotten a lot better. I can't give him any more than an 8, though. I can't give him any more than maybe a 7, but I can't give him any more than an 8 just because the penalty save pushed him up from the 7 just because of his distribution needs to be a lot better. He's a shot stopper. We're not going to give him, but he didn't really have that much to do in the first half. So that's why I can't give him 9 or 10 because he saved the pen. Do you know what I mean? He still let one in. So I've got to give him an 8, if that makes sense.
That's fair. I mean, I would have probably given him a 7, but I understand an 8. Rash, what are you saying?
See, so I'm the opposite. That's the reason why I'm giving him the 9, because he didn't have a lot to do in the first half. And when he was called upon, he acted. Okay, he couldn't do too much about that first goal. Okay, but after that, nothing was. He never looked like anything was going through. You know what I mean? He was good with his feet, and he saves the penalty. You save the penalty, you decrease that goal tally. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it could have been 3-2 rather than 3-1. And for that alone, you're a 9. Well done. To me.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I think we got. I'll probably go with an 8 as well. So we got 2 8s and a 9. So that's fair, man. Let's get to Bellerin. Rash, Bellerin. What are you giving him today?
6. 6. Yeah.
6 out of 10.
Because he had an okay game, but he didn't do too much. He done same Bellerin mistakes that you expect 2 or 3 of them throughout a game. But he was all right, but he wasn't amazing. So I say it's just above average, 6.
Yeah. Do you know what you giving Bellerin?
I have to fully agree on that. Didn't do anything special. There was one time that really got on my nerves where
in the first half when he should have squared it.
That one, he should have squared it. He took an extra touch. The extra touch didn't need to be done, and then Smith would have pocketed it, right? But also in the second half now, where Pulisic was running towards him, he let Pulisic run all the way to the box, backing off. Go to the box. My blood was boiling. I can't give him any more. I was thinking about a basic 5, but he did have an okay game, better than normal, if that makes sense. And you're in a winning team, so you kind of have to give him 6. That's why I agree with Rash.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm 6 with Bellerin. I thought he did some decent passes, but just a standing performance, get ripped a couple times, and I'd say 6 out of 10 for Bellerin. Who's next? Who we got? We got Holden. Do you know what we saying about Holden? I thought you did all right today.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, man. I was analyzing Holden just in case, you know.
So was that.
Hey, do you know like Holden as well?
No, I thought Holden was all right, but I know Rash always have these talks before and after a game, and we and Rash have seen him play live together. We've been to a few Arsenal games, so we've seen him play live together, and I'm always defending him. Rash is always getting onto him, but today I think we all agree we can give him a 7 for what he done today. The blocks, the header, and the take-ons, the one-on-ones, he wasn't backing off like he did before. So I'm quite happy with that. If I'm honest, I'm quite happy with that. So if you can tell me at least 2 mistakes, because there's one, if you can tell me at least 2 mistakes he made, then take it down from a 7. But for now, we'll give him a 7.
I'm happy with a 7. Rash, what are you saying, man?
Yeah, I'm happy with a 7. I'm happy with a 7. I was gonna, boy, yeah, I'm happy with a 7. Yeah, I don't, I don't rate Holding at all in it. I don't think he's a good player. Like, I think he's good in the air. He's got that heart. He's you know what I mean. He's got a lot of heart. He's good in the air. I think he's rubbish with his feet. Once he starts taking 3 touches, I start sweating. I'm like, oh no. Do you know what I mean? Like, he needs to be that good old English player. When it gets to your feet, but just clap it as far as you can. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Good old Tony Adams. Do you know what I mean?
Know your game.
Yeah, know your game. So I don't rate him, but today, yeah, he had a solid game. I didn't really see him get dust. I watched the game a bit late. I came in late, probably about 15, 20 minutes into the game, probably. So I missed him getting spun or anything like that if he was. So from what I saw at that point onwards, he had a good game.
Yeah, no, nice one. Just conscious of time a bit. So you know what? For the rest of these Arsenal, man, because we got Chelsea to discuss, I'll just give it to each one of you to shout. And then if we disagree, we'll jump in. The other of us will jump in. Otherwise, we just say cool. So who's next? Pablo Mari, Rash, coming to you, man.
6.
Yeah.
6.
Happy with that. Because of the penalty, right?
Not just because of the penalty. I saw him have a little wobbly moment in the first half. Yeah. I was just like, you know, do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, they were good as a pack, but they weren't the standout defenders for me. You know what I mean? And sometimes I forgot he was on the pitch. I asked my son, "Yo, is Mari playing?" I didn't realize. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's fair. 6 is fair. Jalil Tierney.
Cool. I'm struggling between an 8 and a 9.
Yeah.
I'm struggling between an 8 and a 9. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna tell you why a 9. His take on his decision makings and his intelligence kind of won us that penalty and won us the first half. You know, I know the other boys did the rest, but he alone won us the first half. He did everything right for me. I'm gonna give him a 9.
I'm not angry with an 9. I'm not gonna lie.
I would have said an 8, but when I think about it, I think it was his charge into the box that won us the penalty, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So can't argue with that.
Yeah.
If I give Leno a 9 for saving.
Exactly. Midfield. Let me give you Xhaka, Rash. What are you saying? What are you giving your favorite player of Xhaka, man?
He scored, so he gets a 5.
What? Oh my god.
Rash is joking. What are you giving him?
I'm joking. He gets a 6 because he scored.
I'd Hey, Rash, you're nuts, fam. You're nuts. That's a 5.
I only went up to the 6 as well.
You guys can correct me. You can correct me. Feel free.
You know what, bro? I'm thinking like he scored the free kick, but I saw Xhaka give the ball away in the first half. I saw him kick the ball into the sky in the first half, just randomly just kicking behind them into the air. Some random thing. Second half, I saw him a couple times, but he just did his job. So
he put in a few tackles as well, and he put in a few blocks as well. A few blocks and a few tackles.
Generous mood today. I'll give Xhaka a 7.
I'll give
generous mood though. Generous mood.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you because I'd give him a 7. I was thinking a 7 even before we started.
You were thinking 8, Jalil. You were thinking 8. You were thinking 8, Jalil.
No, I was thinking 7 just because he did make a few mistakes, and you know I'm gonna watch Xhaka and see his mistakes, and I'm gonna see that. And he did make a good attempt with the ball, and his passing was quite decent today, finding Martinelli and Saka at each wing. So I've got. He played the best. He played well though, so I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. El Neni, Jalil, coming straight back to you. Your boy, the Egyptian King, part 2.
He looked good. He looked good today. I wish he scored. I wanted him to shut me up so bad. I wanted him to score, and he almost hit the bar. I was like, oh, come on, because as an Arsenal player, I don't hate no one. Like, there's no one, because everyone fights for the badge. I can't sit here and look at you guys and be like, and then it's crap, or I want him gone. Obviously, I want to see better of him, but I also want him to perform. Do you know them ones? Because I'm an Arsenal man. I don't want to look at my players and feel like, oh, you're shit, get out of my club.
Yeah.
And then he for me did well. He did the basics. I'm going to give him a 6, man.
Yeah. Whoa,
I disagree. I disagree.
I would have probably given him a 7. You know,
I'd give him a 7, and the only reason why is because I believe that him being in that midfield stopped a lot of Chelsea being able to do what they normally do. And when they did, he filled in like that extra defender. He made a lot of stops. He was a part of the build-up play. Like, he allowed Xhaka to disappear. That's what I think. I think he got a 7 without a goal. And if he had scored the goal, it would have been a good 8.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think 7 is fair. Smith Rowe, Rash, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'd say if we could give points, I would have gave him an 8.5, maybe a 9.
Wow.
So
yeah.
I think he had a good game. He gelled the football together, and it's nice to see him out there doing that, because I've liked him always. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Always, from the moment he's came into the squad, I've liked him. I thought he's got great ability. He's got great feet. Do you know what I mean? He's got techers for a young guy. Like, I think the only thing he needs to work on is his strength a little bit and his speed. And I think that will be him. He's a good guy, man. So, I think he had a good game, 8.5. But if no points, it's definitely a 9.
Yeah. I would have probably given him an 8. But again, he was very good, man. I can't lie. He was very good. He played his role perfectly, man. What are you saying, Jalil?
I would have given him a 7.
Okay.
The only reason why is I wanted to see a goal, maybe, or assist. That's my only thing. But he played good, man. I'm not going to take nothing away from what, Rash or, yourself, John, anything you said. He played well, man. He played really well. I was so impressed to see him, and he was fighting for the ball. And these youngsters have got something to prove, I'm telling you. I say this. These youngsters got something to prove. Smith Rowe, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be honest. I was a bit shaky for him coming to the game because he only played cup games. I'm thinking, why is he starting? Proved me wrong, boy. Proved me wrong. So, I'll go over 8 just to...
Smith Rowe or Willock? Sorry, I know we're not doing that, but Smith Rowe or Willock?
The question.
He's asking Smith. It's coming from me. After today, because I've seen Willock in the Prem. I've seen Willock in the Prem do his thing. After today, I'm gonna say Smith Rowe, just because if Smith Rowe didn't play today, I would have said Willock. I'm being honest.
Yeah, does that mean that you were Willock before today?
Oh, 100%. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Listen, the little love they will be, so.
Iwobi was Nigerian. Smith, just Jamaican. Do you know what I mean?
Who we got next? Saka. What are we giving Saka, boys?
Strong 9. Strong 9. Strong 9. I don't really need to say any more towards that, just from the way you play. But unless you guys got a thing to say, I'm just say strong 9.
I'm 9.
Man of the match 9.
Yeah. What we saying about our boy Martinelli?
My guy. I would have loved to see him get a goal today, man. How many chances did he have? Boy, fighted. And there's one time where I think El Neni passed it to him and it went beyond him, and Zuma was going to get the ball. It was going off. He still ran for the bottom. Like, you're not getting around big Zuma, bro. Chill. He's still and he got Zuma over saying, "I'm here. I'm here. I'm the new Ronaldo."
Yo, you gotta stop this Ronaldo thing. Hey, you're gonna ruin Martinelli's career.
So what are you giving him?
I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9.
Well, me and the boys here unanimously saying he should get a 10.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa. Hey,
wow.
10. Yeah.
Tell me why, man.
Yo, can you get a 10 without scoring though?
That's why
and that's why it's good, yeah, because if you can have an effect on the team in such a fashion, in such a way, you can come into a squad and you can lift the entire team's performance. And it was his tempo. It was his tempo going forward. It weren't anyone else's. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So even him getting back into defense, the boy is on acid, bro. Like, he's everywhere. Like, he's playing like, yeah, I've been out for ages and I've got bags of energy. And it's nice to see that. You know, you get these guys that come back from injury and they play like they're tired. And you think, wow, why are you tired? Do you know what I mean? My man has got bags of energy. He's bringing it into the game. The other team members are seeing that. They're saying, well, we got to keep out of that tempo because that's the winning tempo right there. And that's the winning tempo. That's what got us to win. Because everyone else in that squad has been playing. And they ain't been playing at that tempo. He came and introduced that today. And that's why I think it is. He deserves to be a 10 even without scoring.
Do you know what? One thing that you said, Rash, that really interesting. Is really interesting. He said tempo. I cannot agree anymore. The whole team was playing at his tempo. If Laca, if Aubameyang was playing there, we know what his tempo is like. I don't want to get into it, but that was perfect what you said there. His tempo. Everybody was on his tempo, and that's what we need. He's a wonder kid. I'm telling you, it's the next best thing. I'm not going to big him up too much. I don't want to get kicked off the show because I say too much anyway. But yeah, that what you said, Rash, that was perfect tempo. Spot on, mate.
Hey, listen, I know what the Rash has marked him there, thinking about a bigger picture, thinking about the impact he's made on the whole team, and just for that, he probably does deserve a 10 because, like he said, we don't win today without Martinelli. We don't win today without Martinelli, and so I gotta give it to him, man. Who's the last one? Lacazette. What are we saying? What are we saying, Rash? What are you giving Laca?
I give Laca a 9. He banged the penalty. He captained the team basically, and you know, I'm trying to say
Bellerin was captain.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't the captain.
Yeah, disgraceful.
You know what I'm trying to say? It was Laca that was holding the ball up in the midfield. You know what I'm trying to say? Being a nuisance to those other midfielders in the Chelsea midfield and running around to the centre backs of the Chelsea defenders. He does what he normally does. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I always think he puts in a good game normally by just his work rate. And he deserves to be a level 8 normally. But he banged the goal. He kept his cool as well. He got the penalty, banged the penalty, done what he had to do.
Yeah.
So he deserved it.
Yeah, I'm giving him an 8. What are you giving him below?
I would have given him an 8. Just based off, I was looking back and I was looking at our performances, and I thought Laca performed better in games like Fulham and a game he didn't.
Come on,
United.
Bro, come on, man. Come on.
No. What I'm saying is, I thought he played better in a game where we only scored 1-0, which was a penalty against United as well. And I thought he played better. He scored against Fulham, and he played better. That's why I can't. And in that game, we gave him an 8 for both those games. If we were looking back, we gave him an 8. So I think if we're going to go on that level, he scored a pen, and he did lead. I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't do shit. I just wanted more from the guy because I know he can give me more, and I've seen more from other games, and that's the reason why I give him an 8.
Yeah. That's fair, man. I feel like Lacazette did his job well today. He's been getting a lot of criticism this season, so it was good for him to get a goal, hold up the play, and just do the basics very well. And like you said, Rash leads from the front. So, but yeah, man, that's some good Arsenal play.
Can I throw a question? Because my son's in here as well, being analytical as well. If Lacazette had scored that goal in open play and not as a pen, would you have given him a 9?
100%. 100%. I think.
What about you, Dave?
I think
he had it. Remember, near the end.
You know, that's a tricky one, but that's a good question, though.
Because he had that chance at the end as well that he missed in it as well.
Yeah, obviously, if he scores that one at the end, especially given the fact he one-man team pressed, that one makes him go to a 9 automatically, maybe even a 10, because that was unbelievable. But at the end of the day, a penalty, you can miss it. We've seen players miss it. We saw Jorginho miss it in the same game, so I don't think it's fair to mark him down so much for the penalty, because it's not like Laca relies on pens. Arbal takes all our pens, so Laca did step up today. So no, I don't think he
up to
me. Yeah. But that's a good question though, because we know some guys rely on pens. We know some guys out here are relying on those pens.
I know you're talking about.
We know. We don't have to say now. Hey, we'll get through. But listen. But yeah, man, listen. That's the Arsenal player ratings. I think positive ones. We played well today. We can't deny that. But we gotta get on to Chelsea.
John,
yo.
John, can you do the manager? Can you rate the manager on tactics and the team and the result?
5.
A 5 for winning 3-1 against a team. What did you give him? What did you give him for United game? What did you give him for the United game?
5.
Wow. You're trying to wind me up. You're trying to wind me up.
Yeah.
No, you know what? For today, I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
I'll give him an 8. What are you giving him? You sound like you're going for a 10.
Nah.
Maybe might even be 11, bro. What are you going for?
I was gonna say 11.
I'm giving him an 8 as well, based on I wasn't really happy with Mari until Mari started playing, if that makes sense.
But then you know what? Today, if Mari didn't play, it would have been Mustafi.
Then we would have lost. So yeah.
We have to make his rating go up.
Oh my gosh! When I saw Mustafi warming up, bro,
bro, that guy is the definition of a clown, bro.
Oh man,
bro. But listen, Rash, what are you giving Arteta?
Yeah, you can get an 8. He got it right today. Yeah, I know he's happy. He must be happy. He got 8. Yeah, I said about that.
Hey, Jalo's buzzing, bro.
Hey, he wants to get off of this cast and celebrate. I know that, man.
Oh, do you know what it is? It's not. You know me. I'm not one for saying I told you so, because we can still go down next week. We can still lose to Brighton, but I just wanted people to see that he does have a plan. That was just my thing. I wasn't not here to say you guys are idiots for thinking this. You're fickle. I'm a really positive guy, and you guys have known me for a long, long time. I just want to see the best in people. You guys have known me for a long time, and you've seen that. So that's all it was.
Yeah. Do you know what, Jay? Do you know what it is? We know how to play against big clubs because we know how to sit back, take heat, and then counter-attack. We don't know how to play against small clubs who do the same thing to us. That's where we're like, huh? And that's where I question Arteta. Okay. Well, what's your plan B, bro? Do you know what I mean? Why don't you know how to break teams down? Why is it always a counter-attack that you're relying on? Do you know what I mean? That's all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am 100% with you on that. Arteta hasn't shown me yet he knows how to break down low blocks. And until he hasn't shown me that he's really ready to be an Arsenal manager, because let's all be honest, Arsenal for years, when teams come to the Emirates or they used to go to Highbury, they used to put 10 men behind the ball and counter attack. But we
still breaking them down.
Still breaking them down. If Arsenal had like a game with like 4 or 5 chances, we'll say, "Oh, the other team did well today. They defended well." Now, if we have 4 or 5 chances, we're like, "Oh, we played well today, man."
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean. So that's the mindset we have to change, because like it's even today, people don't deep it by small things. We scored a pen, a free kick, and a goal that was meant to be a cross. How many chances do we really create?
I don't know, man. Did he say it was supposed to be a cross? Did he say it?
Yeah. They asked him know, and they said, "Did he mean it?" And he said, "Yeah, I meant it," but laughing. So you just know.
Yeah.
You just know. No, man. You just know.
Yeah.
So that's just not, you know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, if he was, he would have given Saka a 10. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, let's get on to these Chelsea guys, man. We got to talk about them. I've said it to you guys before. I had 3 people on my list of potential frauds this season. I had Arteta, I had Lampard, I had Solskjaer. So for me, Lampard, again, like, look at how much he spent. I'm not seeing the type of performances I should be seeing from Chelsea. Again, today, they were very flat. Gary Neville kept saying that they were playing like they were entitled, that they were expecting to win. Maybe so, But then again, that comes down to the manager not getting them ready to play. And you know what, you have a chance. You know Liverpool don't drop many points, especially now they're getting players back. So for me, like, I don't know what's going on with Chelsea right now, but what I do know is Lampard is not being put under enough pressure. And I know that he's a club legend. He's obviously played England national team, many caps. So he's not going to look at him the same way. So, Rash, man, let me come to you, man. What did you make of Chelsea today? And yeah, man, what are you thinking about Lampard right now?
Chelsea lost to Arsenal. Poor.
Yeah.
Poor. How can you lose to out of form Arsenal?
Yeah.
Like, really? This Arsenal, what, 16, 15? We've been getting... I've had man them coming out the woodwork that I haven't spoken to for ages, throwing in my phone. Chelsea, man, talking rubbish, yeah?
Bro.
How can you lose to out of form Arsenal? This is the worst we've ever been in how many years? And you, bruv, that is poor. Chelsea played poor. Yeah, their attacks was weak, meager. There's so many frauds in that team. It's unbelievable. Like really, you got players like Havertz. I didn't know he was playing. Yeah. I knew Werner was on the pitch because my son kept on saying his name because he's in his fantasy team. Yeah.
Bro, your son needs to pick him up, bro.
Trust me. The only player that I saw working for them
mad today.
The only ones I saw working for them today was Abraham because he looked like he wanted goals. Yeah. And what's the other guy's name? Yeah, who? No. I think Zuma had an alright game as well. Mount, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Mount, just those three. That's it. There's only 3 players that played for them. All the rest are just. Huh?
Pulisic, I thought he played well. Especially second half, he tried to carry the game for them.
Yeah, do you know what? He caused problems. Yeah. Do you know what? I forgot. Pulisic, yeah, he caused problems still. Yeah, but other than that, to me, I was just never worried about it. The only time I was worried was when they got the pen, and I was like, if it's 3-2, it's going to be a crazy 5 minutes, yeah? But other than that, I would never thought, I just wasn't worried. They didn't look like they played to win. It was, and Matt, I think Frank Lampard, yeah, like I said in previous weeks, just like how he was on the pitch, that's how he is as a manager. He's all heart, yeah? You think Lampard can do 10 kick-ups, bro? Lampard can't do 10 kick-ups, yeah? But then, man, they can play the hell out of a game because he's got heart. He'll bang in a goal. He'll drag the team forward. Like, he'll get the ball and run forward and play. Like, he'll do that. But he's not a tactician. He's a heart man. You know what I mean? And you can tell he rules that dressing room exactly the same way. I can't imagine him saying, well, I want you guys to form triangles and do this around here and do this, and I want you to bob it. Whatever, bro. Go and have a go, lads. Yeah, don't have it. You know what I mean? Put it all, give him 100. That's all I know. He's bringing to the table. He's a fraud still. Yeah, he's a fraud. He's a motivational speaker. Yeah, how dare you leave Giroud off the pitch? Nah, you stole it. How can you leave Giroud off the pitch? Crazy.
Nah, man. I think, yeah, man. You can tell Lampard has so much of that, that British passion, that heart on the sleeve stuff. Like you said, man, let's scrap today, lads. Like,
yeah,
he's got a lot of that in him. I'm not, like you said, I agree, man. I'm not seeing enough tactics there. I didn't see any patterns today from Chelsea. It was very like you guys go on and you make it up as during the game. If you get a chance, great. So yeah, I think because if you look at it right now, I'm not sure where they are on the table. I think they're like 6th. And they've played a game more than a few other teams. They've played a game more than United, Leicester, maybe the same games as Leicester, but like Spurs and all them teams, Man City. So I don't know. I feel like he's definitely going under the radar because Abramovich is not usually a very sympathetic man. If you continue the way they're going, I don't know. Abramovich might have to ask some question at the end of the season, or Lampard has to win a trophy or something to get him out of this. Because Chelsea's squad should definitely be doing better than they are now. I don't care what anyone says. I do agree they've got some frauds in the lineup. I was shocked by how bad Werner was today. I know he's been very poor for the last few weeks, but he was bad today. Like everything he did was off. Like bad passing, looked like he was struggling to dribble, lack conviction in his shots. He was just awful today. And the fact he came off at half time, again, that's going to add to the thing about Lampard of he's a disciplinarian. He's taking Werner off at half time. He don't ramp about. He didn't get a reaction from his team, but you know he stored them at half time. But Chelsea were no better second half. They had a little bit of a salvo at the end, but second half, we should have scored 2 or 3, a couple more, and we could have been 4-0. And it would have been game wraps, and then different type of questions are being asked. 3-1 kind of lets Chelsea a bit off the hook, especially Lampard. So, yeah, but do you know, man, what did you think of Chelsea today? Like, were you expecting Chelsea to win the game, and were you disappointed in their performance?
Yeah, so obviously I've got to eat my words because I said to you a while ago that Chelsea had the second best team in the league. I said it to you, and I was looking. Obviously, when you look at their players, I wasn't lying, but now Werner's done that. Like he ain't really been the guy. But you got players like Pulisic and a few others who are still performing at the end of the day. So. And what didn't make sense to me as well, I know Werner's the leading goal scorer, but if you look at Giroud, he's the most informed. He scored the last 6 goals, if I'm not correct. So I'm expecting Giroud to be in the starting lineup, and he would have hurt us today. He's got something to prove because we gave up. We got players in to get rid of him. Do you know what I mean? To get built. Imagine what that must feel like as a player. So he had a job to do today, and yeah, if he would have come on, he would have put our players. We would have had them under the thumb. But yeah, having said that, I'm quite shocked to see them. I just checked now; they're on 7th.
Oh, Chelsea are 7th, yeah. Yeah,
Spurs, which pushes Spurs to 8th, but yeah, they're 7th. So I'm quite shocked with that, if I'm honest, because I thought they'll be a lot higher than where they are right now, man. It just don't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's a crazy one. I don't really have too much to say on them because I thought I came in today thinking we'll just get a draw. I didn't think we'd win. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see us winning at all. The young boys proved me wrong, and Mikel, I'm happy he proved everyone wrong. To be fair, but yeah, not much to say on that, man. Just Lampard. Yeah, I'm looking at him as a forward. He's on forward watch at the moment, man. Next game, I'm giving him to next game just before the window because that's just before the next game. He's on forward watch at the moment, but there's not much he can do in the next window anyway. So I can't really defend him until the same way I'm defending Mikel. He needs some windows. He's got his team there. That team is amazing. Let's be real. They just didn't perform today, and that's what it is.
If Sarri was there, it'd be a different thing still.
100%.
100%. I agree with that.
I think if Sarri was there, he'd be looking at the sack. I think.
But with Lampard, I think he escapes criticism quite a lot. Is that because he's British and he's a legend in his game for Chelsea, but he escapes criticism every single time. The players will get blamed. He wouldn't even feel any wrath of anything, bruv, and he hasn't so far.
Nah. Lampard's never been questioned. His tactics have never been questioned. But again, like you said it there well. Like, because of his history in the Premier League, and he is a Premier League legend, especially for Chelsea, he doesn't get the same amount of pressure that maybe a foreign manager would. The way Sarri was under pressure from the beginning as soon as he got into Chelsea. And he definitely made questionable calls like moving Kante out of position. That was very questionable. Should never have done that. But overall, Sarri, he finished 3rd and he got a Europa League. And he got to a Carling Cup final. So overall, he did a good job for Chelsea. But the media never portrayed it that way. He was always felt like he was close to the sack. But with Lampard, it seems like he could go another 5 games losing, and it would be like all good. So I don't know. For me, there's also a question that needs to be asked about whether Chelsea's players are overrated. That a question that needs to be thrown out. Have the players been overrated in some way? If I was to ask you now, Chelsea's team, how many players? List out to me the world-class players at Chelsea.
Kante,
Giroud.
Nah.
I think me with Giroud, he's just here to world class. He's looking at it, but he's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. not Drew. I was clutching at straws there just because he's a World Cup winner and that.
Yeah, I knew you was doing it just because he was a World Cup winner, and I understand.
I can't think of many if I'm
Man,
honest.
what's the World Cup winner, man?
Yeah, exactly.
You get me started on that.
Yeah.
Get me started, man, with a World Cup winner.
Let's see who they got on. Let's go now. I like. But no, we're saying world class, aren't we?
Thiago Silva.
They got a lot of young boys in their team. Do you know what I mean? They haven't been able to establish themselves enough to have that title. I don't think.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, and that's where, Thiago Silva you can still have an argument for. I know he's older now, 36, but he's still putting in class performances.
Yeah, he's been well.
You can say Thiago Silva, Kante. Even though again Kante's not at the level he was 2 years ago, but he's still a world-class performer on his day. And then you're looking at a lot of really, really promising youngsters. But is Lampard getting the blend of the team right? There's a lot of Chelsea fans that, looking at Twitter sometimes, it seems that there's a mixed feelings on Mason Mount. Some people claiming he shouldn't be in the team, others claiming he's indispensable. So it's a weird one with him. Then you got Havertz, who just hasn't settled at all. Some people appear to have given up on him already, which I don't think is fair, but some have. All I can say with Havertz is that some people are comparing him to Ozil, and to me, that's not fair on Ozil, because Ozil actually, there were times actually performing. Yeah. I ain't won Chelsea game yet and said, you know what, Havertz, he was the business today. And also Havertz cost 80 million. Now, yes, relative to the times, Ozil may have cost the same amount back in 2013 when we signed him. But Havertz ain't turned up. Werner hasn't turned up. Ziyech has been good, but he's had his injury issue, so he hasn't been in the lineup consistently. I'm just questioning whether Lampard's getting the blend right of the team. I don't know.
I think put Havertz in Mount's position for a couple games and then see what he can produce. Yeah, that's what I think Lamps needs to do in regards to Havertz. Give him a run of games in the position that he's familiar with, that he's shunned in. Do you know what I mean? Kante plays like he hasn't got no friends. Like, he plays where's the man then? Like everyone's left him or something like that, because he just looks alone, man. There's no one who he really connects with anymore. I remember before, he could have like Joke at 1-2, and they would know where he's gonna 1-2 and play those great balls through, and that's what earned him his great stature in the club. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I don't know, man. He just doesn't seem to fit into this Chelsea team. Weirdly,
I agree. It just doesn't seem to quite work now with Kante. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm not sure why, but because he's still a top player, but it's a weird one. I've seen that as well. I think that's it's a take that not everyone's going to say, because Kante is so highly rated, but I think it does need to be questioned. But I don't know, man. I think Chelsea. I think the next game is Villa at home. And Villa played well today. They won 3-0.
That's going to be a struggle for them.
Yeah, playing like they did today, defend like they did today, that game will be tough for them. Because Villa are looking good,
Yeah, Villa are looking very good. I had to put a couple men in my fantasy team still.
Villa got a good keeper as well. I like their keeper.
Yeah, I had him in my fantasy team from the start, and I swear, when I get no points, he racks up the points for me. Yeah, can't believe we let him go, because in reality, if you want to contend, you got to have two world-class keepers. Do you know what I mean? You can't have one keeper and then some any guy from the ends just coming in and putting on some gloves. You can't do that, bro. And in reality, in Martinez, you should have gave him the number one spot and told Leno, okay, go get that back. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it should have been a competition. I think it was healthy, and it made our team look good. Do you know what I mean? It made us look good. Like in the cup matches, I believed we were going to win, and we did. Our record in cup matches is great. Like, it's wicked. It's like something like 22 games we've lost like 2 or something. It's crazy like that. Something silly like that. Do you know what I mean? And that's because we had 2 good keepers. I think we made a big mistake letting him go to Villa, but Villa are reaping the benefits from having a great keeper like Martinez.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. But yeah, man. So I'm trying to think. Chelsea. What are we saying, Janelle? You still? Because I think you predicted that they would finish second. How do you feel about that prediction right now, man?
I do. But losing to it out of form Arsenal is a joke. So I'm gonna have to take that back. Sometimes I love being wrong, so I can get educated on certain things. And I'm so wrong with this, man. So wrong. So if I'm being honest, I think they'll fix up and they will be in the top 6. Potentially battling for the top 4 last couple games towards the end of the season, which will be a good watch for all of us to watch. And unfortunately, Arsenal won't be a part of it. If anyone thinks Arsenal will be a part of it, is deluded. So yeah, having said that, man, I'm so wrong with Chelsea. But with one player you guys mentioned, Mason Mount, I think he warrants a start, man. You've brought in Havertz, you brought in Ziyech, you brought in these world-class players at their squad, and that's debatable. But Mount's been doing it. He's getting numbers. I keep saying that I'm a stats man, and I know, John, me and you have these back and forths. Oh, it's not all about stats, and I understand where you're coming from, but he hits numbers. He didn't play the best today, but he played well. He's one of the good Chelsea boys today, He was one of the good Chelsea boys. He was pushing for the goal, and he was very positive for Chelsea. Having said that, I do think he was a start, and I do see these debates. So, I spoke to our good friend Sam and MK today, Mike today, in regards to Mount, and I think he wants to start, man. If I'm honest, man, he definitely wants to start. Yeah,
I don't think Sam rates Mount.
He doesn't, but you're not going to rate someone when you've signed, 2 people that can play the positions. Ziyech and Havertz. You've got 2 players that can play the position, but yet he's still starting. Surely that shows you that he's impressive in training. And again, I'll go back to it. He's got numbers, so yeah. I mean, that's what I put it towards.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. You know what? Yeah, I think Mason Mount, he's the kind of player where I feel like every club has one player where fans are really divided on them. I feel like Ramsey used to be a bit like that for Arsenal, where you'd have some fans that absolutely loved him, and some fans would be like, "Why is the team?"
Yeah.
I feel like there's just every team has those kind of players where there's 1 or 2 where fans are always divided on them. They'll never be fully universally loved. There'll always be question marks around them. So I think Mount falls into that category, but I do think he's a good player. But I'm with Rash. I would try Havertz in a deeper role with next to Kante, and then just see how that works. Because I think Havertz, he's too good of a talent or supposed talent where you can't immediately drop him to the bench, potentially denting his confidence.
You have all 3.
You can have all 3. You can have all 3. You can, but it's all about the responsibilities you give them, and that's where Lampard's managerial has to come into it. What tactics is he giving them? What instructions is he giving them? So that's where I think Lampard's got to come in. But yeah, man, I think that's fair on Chelsea. It's funny actually because when Rash was talking about Lampard not being able to do 10 kickoffs, it made me think of something I was watching yesterday. I think it was like a debate about great Premier League central midfielders, and someone actually didn't rank Lampard in the top 5 Premier League central midfielders, which I thought was interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I think Lampard, if you're probably happy with Premier League top 7 minutes, what do you guys think?
So say that again for me, please, bro.
I was just saying, I was checking something out yesterday, and I saw there was a debate about top 5 Premier League minutes. The guy that was covering it didn't have Lampard on there, so I was just thinking, based purely off numbers, and I know I'm not a numbers man, but sometimes some numbers you just can't avoid. I feel like Lampard kind of has to be in the top 5 centre mids. What are you guys saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh.
Go on, Janelle. Go on.
Do you know what it is? I've got a line of people that I can phone and debate against him in terms of technical ability compared to Lampard. Again,
for me, Gerrard's clear of Lampard.
Yeah. But this is where I contradict myself in terms of numbers, because I'm a numbers guy. And Lampard hits bigger numbers than the guys I'm about to say. But we're talking centre mids in the Prem. I'll throw in Gerrard, Scholes.
Yeah. We're talking British.
No, any Premier League.
Vieira, Toure, Yaya Toure. I mean, I can keep going if you want. That's why I can't.
Hey, we're looking for 5. We're looking for the top 5 centre mids ever. I know we're drifting a bit, but
yeah, I mean,
we got a question coming through from Alf.
Oh, I don't think he would be in my top 5 ever.
No. Big up, Alf. Appreciate you tuning in, man, and for the question. He's asking, do you think the Gunners will ride this momentum and form and push for Europe? Now, when you're saying Europe there, Alf, I'm assuming you're talking about Europa League space. Because I think Champions League spot is out of running for us. You know what? Our next 2 games, Brighton away, West Brom away, we got Alf saying Europa. No, I appreciate that. You know what? I reckon we win our next 2 games. We're going 23 points. With how condensed the league is, I don't think you can rule out us getting a Europa League spot. I think it's too soon, because if we win our next 2, Partey comes back, we sign a proper playmaker to play in behind, then the season starts to look a bit different. So I'm not going to rule out Europa League. What do you guys think?
Do you want to go first, Jay?
No, then you go, man.
So I was speaking to, I think, Jay either earlier today or yesterday, and I was saying, unless we can spin what United did last season, do you know what I mean? Where from this point on they just won bare games and ended up in the top thing. I can't see us doing something like that. But I think for me to be convinced, we gotta win our next 6. If we can win our next 6, we're back. Literally, we're back, because teams that are above us, they've lost 5 games and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So we've got teams like Leicester losing 5. I swear they're like second or something like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's not it's like in this year, it's like, well, you lose. You might lose. You just got to try and win. Do you know what I mean? And if you can win 6 in a row, you're just back in business. You know what I mean? You're back in contention. Can we win 6? We should be able to. We should. On our current form, you know what I mean? But it's possible.
Yeah. You know what do you want to just add in there to just round that off?
Yeah, I mean, I love the thought of winning our next few games, to be fair. Getting back into Europe, Champions League is way out of reach just because there's a top 6 battle going on right now. Europa, I think there's a chance we can try and get in there somehow. And that's not through winning Europa itself, but that will get us into the Champions League. But what I'm thinking is, Partey comes back after 2 games, right? Then Gabriel comes back after 3 games. No.
Yes, 2 after this, yeah.
So 2 more. So they come back at the same time. And then, as you said, the window opens next week, thank God. I'm hoping potentially we can get in, because, we're only looking for midfielders at the moment. So I'm hoping we can get in 2 decent midfielders. And if they're both attacking, or one's box to box and one's attacking, then, yeah, we can go on a good run. And I think a good run is needed. So, to ask question, I think, yes. I think if we do get that run, and, from what I said, if, the signings are made and our players are coming back into play and being fit again, and, yeah, I think it's a possibility.
Yeah. No, very good. Now, Alf, appreciate you throwing the questions out there, man. Just gotta say this as a formality, man. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're liking the content, man. Appreciate it late on a Saturday evening. So love you tuning in with us, man. He's got another question for us, actually. He's saying, do you think Arteta is still the man to bring back the good times, or do you want him out? Maybe it's a lack of ambition from the players. Emery is smashing it in La Liga. That is a good point. Jalil, you mentioned it the other day. Emery is killing in La Liga with Villarreal. I think they're on a very, very good unbeaten run. I think they're top 4 or just outside. I think they might just be in the top 4. So he's doing a great job. I'm just going to go first with this one. I personally think Emery, it was time for Emery to go just simply because I think the whole situation at the club had got to him where he started making weird decisions. So only because of that, it felt like it got to a point where it became too toxic. Strange decisions like not having the courage to just immediately appoint Xhaka as captain. He felt like he was kind of scared. That's why he went in a roundabout kind of way, picking the 5 captains, but always picking Xhaka as the main captain. It's like he became very unsure of himself, and then he stripped him of the captaincy after the whole Xhaka incident. So I just feel it got to a point with Emery where the players gave up on him. It's as simple as that. The players did give up on him. That's not fair on him, but that's what happened. I think with Arteta, obviously Jalil and Rash are going to have their say. With me, I would have liked maybe Pochettino to come in if you would have offered me that. But right now, looking at the landscape of managers out there, I'd say I want to wait until the Brighton and West Brom games away. Because if we somehow lose to Brighton away and then draw at West Brom, then you show me now that you can't carry the momentum of such a victory against Chelsea onto those games, which is concerning. And I'm not sure I want to give you their money to spend in January. So it might sound like I'm hesitating a bit there, Alf, but hey, give me until the next 2 games and I'll come back to you with a firm answer. Jalil, what are you saying?
Yeah, man. I fully agreed with a lot of things you said there, man. I'm gonna 100% go in there and say yes, Arteta is the guy. And the only thing that I'm really nervous about, because midweek John, you asked me the question, what is Arteta's playing style? And I was like, that's probably one of the best questions I can get as an Arteta in kind of guy. And I think Rash challenged me on this quite a lot during the week as well. So it was good. It was good to get those kind of questions. And his playing style was perfect against obviously United. And a few other teams, but I want to concentrate on United because once we saw that and we was like, yes, we're all gassed. This is what we want. We're gonna go up in the list now, in the table, and go from there. And then after that, we lost consecutively. Do you know what I mean? So that's my only worry in terms of winning today. And then we've got 2. In my opinion, no disrespect to Brighton and West Brom, we should win those. But I said that about Burnley and other teams, and I don't want to go there. But to Alf's question, is he the guy? Obviously Emery, I tried to back him, but yeah, as you said, he was making weird decisions, but I still wanted to see him do well because that's just the guy in me. But with Mikel, I'm fully backing him compared to Emery or Wenger or whoever you want to bring into the picture. I'm fully backing Mikel because I feel like he can bring it in. I just don't want this to be a fluke, beating a top 6 team like Chelsea and then losing and drawing. I don't want to draw. Like, it shouldn't be a draw in these 2 games against Brighton. This is why I wanted Martinelli to come off early or to save a Bellingham. We should be stretching these teams, man. We should be stretching these teams. So that's the only reason why. So to Al's question, yeah, I do think Mikel's the guy for the job. I hope he doesn't prove me wrong in the next couple of games.
Yeah. Rash? Hey, I'm from the spot there. Hey.
I still think the job's bigger than him right now. I still think that. As I said before, if he was allowed to have time somewhere, he would be a good manager. But you can't have time with a team like Arsenal because we're big boys. You know what I mean? You can't be playing around in the positions that we're in currently. I think he's given himself a little bit of a lifetime right now. I still think there's something going on. And unless the thing that is going on behind closed doors is addressed, I don't think there's going to be much change because there's something going on in the club that we don't know about. We need to know, are the players playing for him? Are they really trying? Are they not? Is there a problem? Because he potentially could be a good manager and he could be the right guy for us. But they're just saying, no, not until we don't know. Do you know what I mean? So I can't pinpoint like what it is, but I do know right now in our current state, the job seems to be bigger than him. He doesn't have what it takes to weather the storm.
Yeah. No, I hear that. We got the Relentless Schooner here saying Mikel out still. Hey, Relentless Schooner, appreciate you tuning in, man. And with your thoughts. Hey, if you got the chance, why do you want Arteta out, man? What is it that you want that you don't see in him that doesn't give you that belief that he can bring back the times? I'm also loving that classic Thierry Henry picture when he had the afro, man. That was the real G Thierry Henry, the young Don. But yeah, man, listen, I think Rash, me and you are kind of similar on this Arteta in or out thing. I think we're both. If you put a gun to our heads, we'd say Arteta out still. If you put a gun to our head, we'd say Arteta out. Jalil, you need to put a gun to his head. We know where he's at. He's Arteta's right-hand man, you know what I mean?
But as you said as well, John, is that, well, right now, who would you bring in? The top prospects, they're not available anymore. And all the other guys, I'm not really too sure about, you know what I mean? You'd have to swipe them from other clubs. Now, I was watching a little football show the other day, and they were talking about Brendan Rodgers and his journey, and that they reckon that his whole journey to the Premier League right now was just to show that an opportunity like an Arsenal was to happen, us drop down to something like 15th, and he come back. Because if you think about it, he was at Celtic, and he was a legend up there. They was on the way to doing their version of a treble. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He was going to be offered great contract. You know what I mean? I think he still had like 2 years or something like that on his contract as well. And he chose to go to Leicester. Do you know what I mean? And he wanted to come back to the Premier League. He wanted to come and like shake that crap off that he had from before, you know what I mean, and try and turn a new leaf. And he came with Leicester, and look how he's got Leicester playing. And it seems like he said, okay, let me just come and let me just jump on a Leicester, see how it works for me. And if the opportunity comes, I'm gonna ride the back and then jump off onto that one. And I was thinking about a Rodgers at Arsenal and what that could be like. And I think that could be a good option.
You know what? Rodgers is not a bad shout. I think I have to hold my hands up here. I think sometimes, in a strange way, I feel like sometimes because the media really does protect the British players, I feel like sometimes maybe I've let that impact my judgment. Because I think I was against Rodgers coming to Arsenal. But he, look at his job at Liverpool. It didn't end too well, but he had a great season where he almost won the league. People say Suarez almost carried him to the title. Fair enough. You need great players to win league titles. Ronaldo, he won. No one said he carried United to the league. He did his job, and he was the best player that season. Suarez did the same thing. And now, and Rodgers, while the Scottish league is, you know, some people call it a banter league, whatever, what he did in Scotland is different to what other people were doing. He was winning trebles, like back hat tricks. He was doing different unbeaten runs. So you know, if you told me now Arteta out and Rodgers in, I'd probably take it. I'll be honest with you. Maybe if you asked me a year or so ago, I wouldn't have. But I'd probably take Rodgers. I'm not gonna lie to you. Still, I think that's a good shout.
We always overlook the English managers a little bit. You know what I mean?
What's that?
We always overlook the managers from here a lot. You know what I mean? We always look abroad all the time, but it could be a good shout. But
you know why, Rash? That's because Arsenal, usually the British manager we get linked to is Eddie Howe. I've heard that name 40 times linked to us, but I wouldn't take Eddie Howe. Because people don't realize Eddie Howe had some money to spend at Bournemouth that he threw down the bin. 19 million for Solanke, 15 plus 5, 25 million for Lerma. That's what
cutting corners. He was cutting corners.
Exactly, man. Well, hey, listen, we probably got about 10 minutes more, but let me get a couple more questions. I've got Alf again. Appreciate it. Do you think AFTV is to blame for our dip in form and the players are affected by the social presence of fan channels? I don't know, man. Ooh, that's a good question, you know.
That's a really good question, you know. I've had this question before, and if they mean to blame for our players looking at social media, before AFTV, there was a lot of, you know, stuff on social media, you know, on Twitter, people getting onto people on Twitter and everything. I don't know if we can blame AFTV or any other fan channel for our players' dip in performance, if that makes sense. You know, I think that's a really good question, you know, because I see it a lot. Going back to our goalkeeper when he made that stupid save and it went in, he had to deactivate his account, or his team told him to And Arsenal straight after he put his deactivated his account, also put a picture of him with his head down, saying "Keep your head up, we've got your back," kind of thing. So social media does kind of play a part in that, if that makes sense. But if anything, that should make you want to work harder, right? If you're seeing, Abanya, you've been shit, you can't score since you signed your contract, or Laca, you've lost your hairline, now you've lost your boots, you know what I mean? All this jazz, you know what I mean? So
no, you know what? I think that's a great question. I think Alf, you're touching on probably more of a bigger point, and that's social media in general. I think when Twitter really started blowing up, because let's face it, Twitter now is a huge platform for commenting on football in terms of quick, instant analysis, and you get instant criticism. I think AFTV, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it started end of 2012, beginning of 2013. And if we're being honest, as Arsenal, we tried to go down before that. We had two before that. We lost Fabregas, we lost Nasri, we lost Van Persie to United in the summer. We were going down. We were heading down the wrong trajectory already. And I think AFTV, while the whole essence of AFTV was great in terms of giving fans a platform to have their say straight after games. And obviously, sometimes you're going to be very heated in the moment. I think over time, maybe some people can question whether the huge platform that it now is, whether some people have used it as their own self-promotion. That's up for debate. I'm not here to comment on what they do. That's their own choice. I'm sure the players see it because, like I said, on Twitter, you just see snippets and you can just see someone going mad saying, Bellerin shit, he can't even take throws. And then Bellerin will see that. He's like, raw, I can't take throws. I'm taking a throw, he might be thinking about that. Because we've all played football, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I'm quick to criticize players, but I've never tried to criticize anyone on social media because I know me, like as a person, I'm someone that's sensitive. Like I always say this, but one time, the only year I ever played semi-pro, I still remember one game being put up front, right? And I'm not a striker. I'm to explain. I ain't a striker. Listen, yeah. When I tell you someone whipped the ball into me and I took a touch, turn, the keeper did a great save, yeah. After the game, the manager, for some reason, there were articles for this semi-pro team. I don't know why. After the game, he was like, "Oh yeah, that was a great turn and shot by John. He's not the most mobile lad in the world, but he definitely gave an effort." And I was like, "Damn." Oh my guy, why are you throwing me out like that? You play striker, you just throw me and kill me. So these guys on media are getting pelters. They're getting pelters on the side when the fans are usually there, and social media, they're becoming memes. And then obviously they see Arsenal fan TV. It probably wouldn't help, but I can't blame Arsenal fan TV for what's going on, man. I think we got to look at Stan Kroenke. We got to look at the lack of investment at key times when we really needed investment, like 2015 summer transfer window, when we only signed Petr Cech, when we needed a world-class striker, we needed probably another DM. Those are the things you got to look at before you look at AFTV, in my opinion. But I'm going to come to you, Rash. But Alf, that's a great question, though.
If AFTV is affecting your football, you need to come off of the internet, mate. Yeah, you need to grow some, you need to get some thicker skin. You should allow yourself, because you can't blame social media. Like I know, like I'm very insensitive to this subject. Yeah, how are you gonna get bullied online when you can switch it off? I don't understand this. Yeah, you can't bully me online. I'll just turn it off. Yeah, if I don't like what I see, I'll stop looking. Yeah, Allah's blessed us with some eyes that, you know what, if we start seeing something we don't like, we could just go S. We don't see it no more. So if you're allowing these things to affect your actual trade, that this is your job, this is how you get your income. Yeah, you gotta make a decision, and the decision needs to be a real executive decision. Yo, we need to stop going onto social media because it's affecting me, and you should cut it. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't take a genius to do that. You're all big men. Some of you are young men, but you should know better. And if you haven't got advisors by your side just saying this to you as well, then what is the club doing in the sense of the psyche of our players as well? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, I don't believe AFTV are to blame for Arsenal's demise. Matter of fact, they're to blame for some of the good decisions in Arsenal Football Club, if you ask me. Do you know what I mean? Some of the big decisions that's come in the club has come off of these guys leaning on the club. So, yeah.
But hey, listen, I think we got a few people on the live. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Like I said, I got to do the protocols. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the content, man. Like I said, Saturday night we go Rash, man. We're happy to stay on. Lads, are we happy to stay on for another 5-10 minutes? How we feeling?
I'm good for another 5.
I'm good for another 5 as well.
Nice one, man. We got there. We're saying Mikel needs to go. There is no process, all PR. That I do feel you on that. There's a lot of PR going on at Arsenal. I mean, we've seen that with the recent Adidas videos that are coming out. They're just not picking the right time to come out with those type of things. The fans see right through it now. The Edu statement that came out last week, again, just BS. You know, with those days of us fooling for them, talking to us in a certain way are gone. So we've also got here another thing from Alf. He's hearing a lot of talk of us going for the young manager in Switzerland. Ain't even gonna say where he said that, and then he said got a really good track record with youth, might be one for the future if Arteta flops. Now, who's the manager in Switzerland?
I'm not sure.
Hey, Alf killed me with that one, man. Shit. I don't know who this one is, but hey, man. Now there's plenty of. Listen, I think the Arteta thing is something that's definitely hot right now. He's definitely spent himself some time this evening with that result and the performance. I think he needed the performance too. So I guess, yeah, man. For anyone that's saying, if you've got any last questions, feel free to send them now in our last few minutes. But I guess just to kind of end it off. What's our starting lineup for the next game? What are we going to do, guys?
I'll go over the same, but John, just to that statement that someone put out about the PR, and that's the reason why Mikel should get out. That was
Mikel.
Yeah, is that Mikel's fault? Is that Mikel's fault? I mean, I agree with what you just said, John. It was the wrong time to bring out the new Adidas kit, and I know Ian Wright was meant to champion it, and he was the main sponsor for it. Because I followed the whole thing, but I didn't think it would come out now. But I understand why it did come out now, to get sales before Christmas, it's Christmas presents and stuff, and so on and so forth. But is that Mikel's fault? Is that the reason why we're losing? I mean, come on, make it make sense to me. I understand if you say, "Oh, we're losing because of this and that and this," but if I'm hearing PR, that's all the guys upstairs, man. That's all the guys who do the marketing. I don't think Mikel's got anything to do with that. Do you know what I mean? So that just confused me, man. Sorry.
At the same time, it's talking about there is no process and it's all a PR stunt, because I've heard so many times out of Arteta's mouth, we've got to trust the process, we've got to process the process. So I'm thinking behind closed door, wow, these men are mashing something down together, and you know what I mean, like there's light at the end of the tunnel, there's a goal where they want to reach. And at first it looked like I knew what the process was, even though he hadn't explained what it was. Like in totality, when he did speak, I seem to understand. Yeah, we need to fix the defense. Yeah, you're right. We need some attacking midfielders. True. We need goals. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It all makes sense. But when you think about it, hold on a second, that's just basics. Every club just needs those same things. Do you know what I mean? So, well, what is your actual process? How are you going to...
Yeah, no, what is the actual process?
Turn our club before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. And I think, the relentless Schooner makes the point there. It's his fault for having us in 14th. Are we a big club or not? And that's where, we've got to be honest, man. In a lot of other clubs, big clubs, Arteta, forget 14th. Once we got down to 10th, we would have been sacked. Let's be honest about that. And that's why I think the relentless Schooner is looking at it from the perspective of he's still looking at us like the big club we are supposed to be. and that's why he's asking the question about Arteta. And it seems like the board have just pushed this guy out there like the new Pep and everything else, and they're just hiding behind them. So that's what he's saying. What is the process? So I get that. I get that. And I appreciate you putting that out there, man.
Yeah,
it's a good point. It's a great point, actually.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you just said there. You know, are we a big club or not? We're 14th. I've got to jump off now, but I'll just say that I agree with that point. There, are we a big club or not? You know, I still think Arsenal's a big club. I still think we can get back to where we need to get to, but it's gonna sound cliche, but we've got to believe in the process. What the process is, we don't know yet, but we do know there is a process. So that's what we've got to take on board.
Hey, listen, just to end it off, we were told the process was that we would leave Highbury to go to Emirates to be on the same level of Bayern Munich. So
I remember that.
So the process is not going well. Let's just say that. And just to end of this last comment from Relentless Q, saying if we were Chelsea, they would have sacked him after the FA Cup because we still finished 8th. And to be fair, can't really argue with that. Great point. But again, you know, Peter Cech recently came out and said there's a big difference in the level of ambition at Arsenal and Chelsea. So there's a lot of people that are giving us clues of what is going on inside Arsenal. And Percy recently coming out talking about one of the chairmen talking to him about, hey, look how much profit we got. And while that, I don't know how much of that is true. Again, it's indicative of the process at Arsenal. So we have to see, man. But hey, listen, we come back again in a couple of days against Brighton. We're actually going to be on tomorrow around 6:30 for another live to discuss the Liverpool game tomorrow. I think with before Spurs, discuss the United game earlier today, and also the City game that's just finished. I believe City was it 2-0 City. That final score.
I didn't manage to put it on. I only had the Watford game on. The Watford game instead. I don't know.
Yeah, it was 2-0 City. Yeah.
You know, and Everton won away 1-0 to Sheffield United. So I believe Everton are second now. So hey, the league is tight, man. The league is tight. You got to think back. Everton only a few weeks ago had lost 4 straight in a row. So it's a crazy league. But yeah, man, guys. Anyway. Appreciate to all you guys that are tuned in. As I said, man, please make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate it a lot, man. But I really appreciate you tuning in on a Saturday evening. Jalil Rash, all love for taking the time, bro. I know it was last minute. So much you guys. So yeah, man. Much love to you guys. And take care. Have a good evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, bro.
Bless.
Bless.